Findings in UP Los Baños revealed that there was an intracranial bleeding. There was a crack in my head. This internal hemorrhage triggered a lot of discomforts and complications. Instead of being confined at the hospital, I decided to stay at home and have regular checkups with my doctors. I experienced a very high-grade fever, about 40 degrees, which did not subside despite the antipyretics that I took the whole day. This prompted my husband to bring me again to the hospital in Imus, where workup was done. They found out that I was positive for internal bleeding. My platelet count levels suddenly dropped. In a few weeks, the doctor noticed that my condition was deteriorating. So a CT scan was done for final assessment, after which an operation was advised because the blood is already invading the brain tissue. At that time, I was having seizure attacks every 30 minutes. I was vomiting, nose bleeding, blood was coming out of my ears. There were times when I lost my vision for 30 minutes. Sometimes my whole body was just so stiff. My husband couldn't work, so we didn't know where to get money for us to survive. So I really prayed to God to help us. First week of August, I was bedridden. My fever never went below 40 degrees. I was bleeding. I was vomiting. So again, they brought me to the hospital. But they cannot do anything because my skin was turning dark in this part, and when they gave me oxygen, blood was coming out. The neurologist again advised surgery. I think that operation will not succeed anymore. I don't want to waste the 350,000 pesos if I would just die. It will be more practical if I just let my family use it. So that was the time when the doctor finally decided to just send me home. Feeling so weak and hopeless, I just requested my family to just make me wear the toga that I use in the choir when I die. So my kids called up their grandmother and told her to bring the toga. August 28, they cannot forget this day. They took care of me, cleaned me up, and I heard them praying to God to help their mother. My brave son kept on telling me to keep on fighting and that they are there for me and that I still have to see my grandchild. 5 o'clock the next morning, I was almost dying. The only thing warm in my body was only from the stomach to the head. My jaw was already stiff and I looked different. My family cleaned my body to prepare me. They were just waiting for the toga which I was supposed to wear. They cleaned the house and prepared the place where my body will be replaced when I die. Early in the morning, my aunt already called the Samson Funeral Homes for the coffin. My cousin arrived about 7:30 together with the minister who prayed over me. They were shouting and praying to God to shorten my suffering if it is really my time because it has been several months. But God made a miracle. He sent somebody to help me recover. Sir Oliver came, the one who introduced Quantumin to my family. When he came, there were so many people around me. But when he saw me, he went back outside the house. He cannot stand looking at me. Then later, he decided to come back and bravely told my family to help him open my mouth. At first, my aunt said, "Don't touch here anymore. Let her rest. She's at peace now." My older son and my 13-year-old son were the ones who had the guts to call Sir Oliver the night before and begged him to come. That night, Oliver was here in the Quantum office and he had a meeting, so he went the following morning. So they still tried to open my mouth. My daughter even said, "Quantumin can help my mom. My mom will still be alive." My son told them to just let them try. Anyway, she's already dying. And so they applied the squirt of Quantumin to my mouth. Later, there was a big miracle. All my children, my aunts, cousins, and other relatives were all amazed because in just 20 seconds, I suddenly vomited blood. Very, very dark blood. Sir Oliver was a bit nervous of what happened to me and I wasn't able to get out of bed yet. So he called up Dr. Patawaran to let her know what happened. So Dr. Patawaran gave instructions to give me 20 drops sublingually every minute and to pour Quantumin over my head because at that time the black part of my head was swollen. The pain was so intense at the time that I was suffering because even when you just touch the ends of my hair, it was so painful that it feels like you are injecting needles through my brain. So they consumed about 3 bottles that day. They applied Quantumin all over my head, applied some drops in my mouth, my eyes, my ears, even the nostrils, and my whole body. I woke up and I vomited again. This time, I came back to my senses and saw that there are so many people.